children, today we are going to discuss class 9th SST civics part, electoral politics. First part of this chapter we have already discussed and debated. Now let's come to the second part of this chapter. What is our system of election? As you know that we are a democratic country, and India chose a form of government which is democracy. After the liberation from the British rule, it was deliberated by our founding father, means the person who made the Constitution of India, that the form of democratic government is most suitable for our country. So we took this form, and as you know that democracy is a form of government which is run by the people, for the people, and of the people. So we are a democratic country, and in democracy elections are the core values and importance they have. In our country, elections are held for union government, means central government, which is in Delhi, and other units, means for state legislative assemblies. So what is our system of election? In Lok Sabha there is a term for 5 years. The same way for the state legislative assemblies, the terms of these assemblies are 5 years. After the 5 years, new elections are required, and again the fresh mandate by the citizen of India are required to run the government for the next 5 years. So before the end of this 5-year terms, elections are required, and elections are managed by an independent body which is given in our constitution, that is Election Commission. Election Commission has 3 members, one chief election commissioner and other 2 who assist him. So this is our system of election. Electoral constituencies. The whole country is divided into several electoral constituencies. For example, we can say that in Lok Sabha, total number of constituencies on which elections are contested are 543, and plus 2 in Lok Sabha, 2 members nominated by the President of India. So the whole country divided into 543 constituencies, and the division of these constituencies are based on the population. So all the 543 constituencies, different political parties, they just fill their candidates and they contest election. And these candidates are called MP, the member of Lok Sabha, and they run the government, they make law on behalf of the people of India for the 5 years. For example, we can say that the current government, the 17th Lok Sabha is running currently, going on the 17th Lok Sabha, and it is NDA government. NDA is alliance. The major party is BJP, and the Lok Sabha majority party's leader is Mr. Narendra Modi, and he is the Prime Minister of India, and he is running the country, ruling the country on behalf of the people of India. That is all. In difference to the states, legislative assemblies are there. Their terms are also 5 years. And according to their populations, legislative assemblies also given a certain number of seats. For example, you can say that UP, in which we are living, there are 403 assembly seats, and on this assembly seats, 403 constituencies, different political party, they field their candidates, and they contest election, and the people means the men and women who has obtained minimum 18-year age, they are authorized, they have right to choose without fear or without any favor. That's it. Next, reserve constituencies. Some constituencies are reserved, and this is periodically. Reservation is not fixed. Certain constituencies reserved for the current time, but it is not necessary that in coming future election it is also reserved. So it is job of the election commission to revise these things. Reserved constituencies shows these SC and ST, the scheduled caste and scheduled tribes in our country. There are some sections of society or communities are there who are basically backward on the basis of education or on the basis of economic development. So for their development, so that they can come into the main street of the society, seats are reserved for the weaker section of society, for SC and ST, and these seats are filled by that only particular candidates who belong to SC or ST. Voter list. Now come to the next part. This is voter list. Voter list is made before election. Sometimes it is just 1 year, 6 months before election, and it is duty of the state government to make proper voter list before elections are held. And voter list to the person who are living in a certain area, in certain constituencies, their names and all the required details are given, who have reached above 18 years of age. This voter list is updated time to time. That is also, and some person have changed their settlement. They have gone to live somewhere else. So their name must be cut from that list, and some person who have come to live in certain constituency, their names are added, and the persons who have passed away, their names are deleted, and the new generation who are just achieving are attaining the age of 18 years, their names are added in this voter list. One voter identity card is also given, and during the time of polling, at the polling booth they go, and their identity is certified, it is proved, then they can vote for their desired candidates. Next, nomination of the candidates. This part is belong to the person who is going to contest the election, either it is Lok Sabha or the state assembly elections. And minimum age for the Lok Sabha and state assembly election, legislative assembly elections is 25 years in both contests. Persons who have attained the age minimum age for 25, he can contest election in the Lok Sabha as well as for the state legislative assembly. Nomination of the candidate, a certain date is given, and on the certain date some particular forms in which the on the date of nomination the particular details are provided by the candidate. For example, what is his or her educational qualification, what assets he has, movable or immovable, or in the form of ornament or jewelry, or if any cases, serious crime against him pending, all the things, because the voter must know what kind of candidates they are going to choose, so that they can make up their mind. That is the sense, and that is the spirit of democracy in our country especially. Election campaign, let's come to next point. This is election campaign, and when the date of the elections are declared, election campaign is started by the political parties. They just come up with their you can manifesto. In manifesto, they give certain kinds of slogan. Sometimes these slogans are very catchy, and this allow the people, and they give different kinds of promises to the people. If they come to power, what they are going to do for the betterment of the nation, for the betterment of the country. Just let us take a look on some these slogans during the time of election campaign. Remove poverty. In Lok Sabha election 1971 was given late Prime Minister Indira Gandhi. Poverty was a big challenge at that time, and she gave a slogan, Garibi Hatao, remove poverty. And this slogan was so effective that Congress won mandate. This mandate was absolute majority. So democracy in 1977 against the Congress party, and especially during the rules of emergency which was imposed by the then Prime Minister Indira Gandhi, Janata Party gave this slogan, Save Democracy. They felt that democracy was in peril and it was required to save the democracy. This slogan was also very effective, and Indira Gandhi government and Congress party received very shameful defeat in that year. Land to the tiller in the assembly elections in West Bengal, this slogan was given, and again protect the self-respect of the Telugus. N.T. Ramarao in Andhra Pradesh assembly election in 1983, this slogan was given. So in election campaign, these kind of slogans and the programs of the political parties are just propagated, and they come with their ideas and point of views. polling and outgoing this counting of the vote. After the election, when the votings are over, one certain date is decided, and before the presence of each and every stakeholders, means political parties, hence the counting is done. And in this counting, the party come as a winner or candidate secure minimum number of votes get elected. This is our second part of this electoral politics, and the remaining part we will discuss the next day, the part 3 of this electoral politics. Thank you.